the Kidron Valley. That is where the tomb of Virgin Mary is, and Gethsemane Grotto. That is the Garden of Gethsemane. Garden of Gethsemane at the Kidron Valley. Mount of Olives, Eastern Jerusalem. The old city of Jerusalem, the city walls, that is the Western Jerusalem, and there is a mosque on Mount of Olives. That is a Temple Mount where the temple stood. And you see that gate, it's called the Golden Gate. It's a sealed gate. Once Jesus entered through that gate, he entered into the temple and found money changers in the temple, and he overturned their tables. He passed through that eastern gate. We are heading to Gethsemane, the Garden of Gethsemane, where the Passion of Christ started. Hi, good people, how are you? This is Veronica, and I appreciate your time here. Thank you so much for your time here. In this channel, we walk through the Bible, and I'm grateful that you follow me. At Gethsemane, that is where Judas Iscariot betrayed Jesus with a kiss. And at Gethsemane, it was after the Last Supper that took place at the upper room that is located on Mount Zion. After the supper, Jesus and the disciples came to Kidron Valley.
Matthew 26 verse 36. Then Jesus went with his disciples to a place called Gethsemane. And he said to them, "Sit here while I go over there and pray." He took Peter and the two sons of Zebedee along with him, and he began to be sorrowful and troubled. So where were the other disciples? I'll take you where they were. It is called Gethsemane Grotto. Then he said to them, "My soul is overwhelmed with sorrow to the point of death. Stay here and keep watch with me." Going a little further, there is a rock that is called the Rock of Agony. They built a church on part of the Rock of Agony. The church is called the Church of All Nations, a beautiful church. And we are going to enter inside the church, and we are going to see that part of the Rock of Agony.
Olives at Kidron Valley. There is the tomb of Virgin Mary.
Going a little further, he fell with his face to the ground and prayed, "My Father, if it is possible, may this cup be taken away from me. Yet, not as I will, but as you will." Look at how he was selfless. That not my will, but as you will. Then he returned to his disciples and found them sleeping. "Couldn't you men keep watch with me for 1 hour?" he asked Peter. Because why did he ask Peter? Because if you read the time that we are taking the Last Supper, Peter even declared that. Read verse 35. Let's read verse 35 when they were taking the Last Supper. But Peter declared, even if I have to die with you, I'll never disown you. And all the other disciples said the same. So he was addressing Peter here. He went away a second time. Okay, addressing Peter, yes? Watch and pray so that you will not fall into temptation. You see what he told Peter? He addressed Peter. Look.
Jesus with his disciples. Jesus went out with his disciples across the Kidron Valley to a place where there was a garden which he and his disciples entered, where the passion of Christ started.
At him, and he told him, watch and pray so that you not fall into temptation. Why did he tell Peter like this? Because he had foreseen that Peter is going to deny him 3 times. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. He felt that he could not play. He needed people or his disciples to stand with him to pray. He went away a second time and prayed, my Father, if it is not possible for this cup to be taken away unless I drink it, may your will be done. When he came back, he again found them sleeping because their eyes were heavy. So he left them and went away once more and prayed the third time, saying the same thing. As I told you, where he was playing, it's in the garden, and the disciples had gone back to the cave where they used to spend the night. That is the Gethsemane grotto. Then he returned to the disciples and say to them, are you still sleeping and resting? Look, the hour has come, and the Son of Man is delivered into the hands of sinners. Rise, let us go. Here comes the betrayer. You know, he has entered in the Gethsemane grotto. He has found them sleeping, and now he wants them to go away. But before they could free,
they say it's more than 2,000 years old. Wow. And new branches are still shooting. My Father, if it is possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as thou wilt. Matthew chapter 26, verse 39. Jesus' deepest night of agony. From here you can see the Golden Gate more clearly. You see, it's just near where the temple was. It's called the Temple Mount. This church is called the Church of All Nations. At the foot of Mount of Olives.
Padre mio, se questo calice non può passare via senza che io lo beva, si compia la tua volontà. Preghiamo. O Padre che celebri i tuoi santi doni, e con la morte del tuo Figlio ci fai sperare le bene in cui crediamo, anche per la sua risurrezione possiamo giungere alla meta della nostra speranza. Per Cristo nostro Signore.
GETHSEMANE ne chiambere chiaru. GETHSEMANE chiele lo chienene. GETHSEMANE kyo era na wendo. Kuko engoro ne wa hono kirie. Kuko engoro ne wa hono kirie. The song says that at Gethsemane, that is where the passion of Christ started. At Gethsemane, Jesus was so selfless that he said that not my will but your will be done. And by saying so, he made us to be reconciled back to God at Gethsemane. So as you remember the agony that Jesus went through, you should rejoice that through the agony that he went, you have been reconciled to God. You have an access to go to the holy place. It's 12 o'clock. To the visiting hours. Gethsemane. It's Masai, let him enter.
I'm sorry. Let me come from far place.
Oh, they are late. You have to come on time. 12 o'clock they close.
From here, from Gethsemane grotto, Judas comes. And then, verse 47, while he was still speaking, Judas, one of the 12, arrived with him. Was a huge crowd, armed with swords and clubs, sent from the chief priests and the elders of the people. Now the betrayer had arranged a signal with them. This one, the one I kiss, is the man, arrest him. Going at once to Jesus, greetings, Rabbi, and kissed him.
Par Jésus le Christ, notre Seigneur. Amen. Le Seigneur soit avec vous. Et avec votre esprit. Élevons notre cœur. Nous le levons vers le Seigneur. Rendons grâce au Seigneur notre Dieu. Cela est juste et bon. Vraiment, il est juste et bon de te rendre gloire, de t'offrir notre action de grâce toujours et en tout lieu, à toi, Père très saint, Dieu éternel et tout-puissant.
Jesus replied, do what you came for. Do what you came for, my friend. You see, if you remember the video that I did when Jesus was being anointed at Bethany, he spoke of Judas. At the table, during the Last Supper, he spoke about Judas, that whoever would dip his hand with me is the one who is going to betray me. So, although he kept Judas as his disciple, he knew his mission. Because look at verse 50, what he's telling him. Jesus replied, do what you came for, friend. Then the man stepped forward, seized Jesus, and arrested him. With that, one of Jesus' companions reached for his sword. Who must that be? Maybe Peter? Drew it out and struck the servant of the high priest, cutting off his ear. Put your sword back in its place. And remember, Jesus, during the Last Supper, he had told them, whoever doesn't have a sword, it's time you buy a sword. So this man, he has a sword. So he thinks it's time now to use the sword. So he uses the sword and cuts the ear of one of the servants of the high priest. Put your sword back in its place. Jesus said to him, for all who draw the sword will die by the sword. Do you think I cannot call on my Father and he will at once put at my disposal more than 12 legions of angels? But how then would the scriptures be fulfilled that say it must happen in this way? In that hour, Jesus said to the crowd, am I leading a rebellion that you have come out with swords and clubs to capture me? Every day I sat in the temple courts teaching, and you did not arrest me. But this has all taken place that the writings of the prophets might be fulfilled. Then all the disciples deserted him and fled. Like, seriously? Fled? And then from Gethsemane, Jesus is taken before the Sanhedrin.